Greetings everyone, welcome to this new video. We're gonna talk about how to make currency, or how I personally made currency this league. I made about 200 to 300 exalted. Some of you might scoff at that and like, only that. Honestly, that was not my main goal this league, to make currency. By any means, no. If I wanted to do that, I could easily made double, triple, quadruple. I don't know. If I wanted to make more currency, I could have. But it feels a little bit like hoarding currency. And if I cannot use it, why would I get more currency? So I'm gonna give some. How I'm gonna set this up is how I'm gonna use from the beginning of the league what I did, and then I'm gonna go to the next step, and it's gonna be a step by steps like I always do. And because you have less currency in the beginning, which means you want to invest less, so you have less things to actually put out there, like less of a risk kind of thing. And um the reason why I did crafting this league and not on previous league as much is because the crafting system on previous league was that you needed to make the masters up to level 8, and it took forever to do that unless you sat there every day and did those grinding missions and did everything on the maps and stuff like that. You would not get that, so it was not readily available for normal players. But in this league it's more available to everyone because you can get veiled mods, which you just find, so it's a little bit more randomized in that manner, but most of the mods come from normal maps, so you get them from benches all over in Rayclast, which is much better in my opinion. So I made a more effort into buying the right items, and I only craft for myself. This is the biggest tip I can give you, because you will know a lot about your build and what your build needs and what similar builds like yours need, which means that you're gonna have a good grasp on how to price the item, and also you can use the item for yourself if you find something good. If you craft something good, you can use it yourself. And the leftovers I just sold. So I crafted for myself, and everything that I didn't want but was still good, I put up for auction. So when I'm doing this, I craft for half an hour, and then I don't craft for maybe a day or two. And I just let the crafts lie there in their stats tabs and for a specific price. And while I'm mapping, or when I'm eating, or while I'm taking care of my son, they could still sell because people can still contact me during this time, which is not possible when I'm farming. Because when I'm farming, I need to be there. So I'm just gonna go through different levels of expensives you need to be making on different kinds of crafts, and hopefully one of them will hit your fancy, and hopefully you can make some currency in the next league or even in this one. We'll see. This league I started out with jewel crafting because I needed that for my own build, and as I already told you, you want to craft something that you already know a lot about, because then you have a higher chance of making profit. So I started out with abyss jewels. Especially I started out with hypnotic jewels, which we can see here from the affix site. If we click hypnotic, it's gonna show us which stats we're looking for here. And it's all about spells. If you look on this side, and if you click anyone else here, and it says wand and bows for searching, which is very popular also. But I know about, because I'm playing Winter Orb, I know a lot about what stats to look for in spells. And spells were really popular this league, so they were in high demand. So we're gonna click this and we're just gonna alt spam it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I could self farm these in high level maps. So if I was doing a tier 15, 16 and stuff like that, and put in the mod Abyss, if I wanted to, or just it has Sextans Abyss, or you can just buy these in bulk, because there were so many floating around on the market. You want to find which eye level also. I know that the greatest one is eye level 84. if you want the best stats, but I don't look for that right now because it's only the chaos mods that actually takes that into account. All the other ones, fire is 81, cold 80, lightning is 82. I don't really care about those. I care about the most useful ones. So I would always go over the highest max life here. It's 82. So our 83 is in this span. So we're good on to go on crafting on this. If you want really high end jewels in the end or a little bit in, then you can buy better bases. But then you probably need to invest for better profits in the end also. So it's a balancing act. Do you want the highest or do you just want to make some profit? Then we would just click and then click away on chaos spamming. You hold down shift and just click until you see something good. Increase effect of shock, maximum energy shield. It might be good, both tier 1s. And then we hit the regal. So there's maximum of 2 magic stats. If it's only one good, like life or the energy shield, you would use an augmentation and click it once and it's still a magic item, which is blue. Then you would regal it if it hits something good again. So in this case, we have 2 already, that is maximum. We're gonna hit it again with a regal orb, which makes it a rare item. And it was a shit thing. If you hit Alt key and you have that clicked in your options, it's gonna show which tier it is. So I highly suggest you do that. Now we scour it and we redo this process until we're hitting something good. I never found that this did not yield in any profit. It always, because these alterations are so cheap, especially in the beginning I found them, because no one was using them. Oh, I just rolled past something good there. Talking and spamming this is taking time. Anyway, I'm not doing this for making profit myself right now. I'm just showing you guys. So we're gonna go over to the next thing. Highly profitable in the beginning of the league and later on, because I have jewels in here that is like this one that cost me 10x to buy, and I have some other that I made myself that is worth just as much. So when I sold jewels for some of them I sold for 10x, so maybe all together, all the jewels, even more. Yeah, I probably did around 50 in profit, 50 AX in profits. And I didn't do it for that long, and you just have it in your stash tab, let it sell when it's selling, and just continue farming maps. So, next one. So, the next thing that I did in this league was to go over to rings. So I alternated between these depending on which bases I could find, and I had live searches up so I could get cheap bases. This one is a little bit more expensive because the base itself will cost a little bit, because you need an elder base first of all, and there's not many of those in the beginning of the league. There will be more and more as we go on, but in the beginning it's gonna be more expensive. Elder rings are very good because of 2 reasons. They can roll specific mods, like this one. Life gain for each enemy hit by your attack. That is a tier 1. So I would definitely, if this was anywhere in the first month, I would definitely keep this. And then just throw a regal at it and then craft something that is needed, like elemental damage to attacks or something like that. And it would make a good profit. So you want to look for a specific stats, and you also want to buy a ring that has a good implicit. What is the implicit? Is the top one there. You can see 20 to 30 max life. I would recommend either 20 to 30 max life, that one, coral rings, or some of the other resistance ones, because those already have a head start in the race of getting really good. What I do otherwise, so I started out by just transmute and then alt spam it until I hit something good. And what I'm looking for here, it's something that's really good. So here we have almost max roll. I don't know what is max roll for rings. There we see. I did this so long time ago. For rings, it is I don't know what's wrong with this site. It's 70. So this is max row. This is tier 1 for a ring. So that means I could augment it, see what I get. Fire. Not bad. Then I would augment it. And it got shit. And then I will just continue like this. And hopefully I hit one of those mods that you saw in the beginning. Or even better, if I could hit is the Warlord's Mark that I was really looking for. Because the Warlord's Mark on hit was really sought after. That is a curse that gives you both life and mana. And a certain percent from your total damage. And it gives you, is it endurance charges or is it frenzy charges? I can't remember now. But those are so sought after in the beginning of the league, even after in the so end game gear also very sought after with those. So you just put it in a ring and then you forget about it. You don't need to have a ring that actually helps you um, or that helps you not reserve mana because you don't need the blasphemy setup. Then that is really good. And also Elder Ring is very good for the Mark of Shaper because we get that 75 increased spell damage for, and this item was so sought after this league, it's not even funny. So many was buying this ring because it's an awesome ring in combination with the Elder Ring. So that is one thing you can do. Then you can also chaos spam it, of course. If we just click there, we can chaos spam it until we hit something good. And obviously you need a good eye to see what is good or not. Again, I'm crafting for myself. If something good was popping up, I would use it for my own build and just sell whatever I had. So you would just click away here until something that pops up. So in the beginning I just looked for two of these things, life gained and the Warlord's Mark. Everything else was kind of obsolete when you, especially when you use these. So I would just click away until I saw those pop up. So that was the second thing I did. Buy a good base and then choose your currency depending on how much money you have. Chaos spamming is faster. As you can see here, I got the tier 1 now. Life gain on enemy hit. This would definitely sell. It might not be a lot. It's now, and you can probably go here and craft life on it. Even more life. Nope, it is already full. Then you maybe craft a resistance or something like that. Or you continue and just click away. It's a little bit luck based, but I never lost any currency. And again, I always put Perendus coins next to it. If it's chaos, then I put a lot of them next to it to just symbolize how much I used. I use a certain you don't need to be exact, but approximately I used 50 chaos to craft this. If I sell it for 100, it's good because then you make double what you invested in it. So that is my second tip. Let's go to the next. So for my next one, it is Stygian Vises. These, I know a lot of YouTubers are using these. And it is the more expensive kind of crafting. But the profits is just staggering in the amount of time you put in to actually craft these. What I mean by that is if you get something like this, for example, we can put here. This one is crafted. All what is used is one of these cold modifiers. You put in one of these, frigid, and there's probably a life one in there. And there is the elemental one. So if you hit one of these, and then I could just craft the increased damage, and I also crafted the grant 20 aspect of the spider skill on top of this. So the ones that did not beat my current belt, which probably nothing can do because, well, I have a tier 2 in cold res, which means I'm losing about 5 resistance. But anything that is lower than that, I would just sell. And I made insane profits on this, like 150 exalted easily in this, and it took me no time to actually do. Sometimes I did it myself. I just crafted it on my own belts here, which I just bought the bases, or again, if I farmed the abyss for the jewels that I did in step number 1 of making money, then I probably got these bases for by myself. So 2 stones hitting 1 bird here. So I can use these resonators myself and put it on, so fossil crafting, or I could go into the PoE site and actually search for myself. By here is the curse on hit, Warlord's Mark, and I can search for the specific belt myself, and I would just search for Stygian, Vises, and I search for the stats I wanted. And then I craft the extra ones that I have on top of it and make someone else's item that is already good even better. Because beast crafting is something that people do not want to do themselves, they don't want to risk it or whatever they want to do. So all you need to do is to buy the specific beast or find someone who has it, because they changed the way it was working in the beginning to now. Then you would craft it or get someone else to craft the aspect of the spider skill on top of it, which do not count as a craft, and then you can craft your own thing. So you basically just crafted 2 things on there, which is normally not possible because you're only 1 mod unless you're multi-modding. So it's a suffix, so I was looking for an item that has an open suffix and an open prefix. You can look at my crafting video about how to look for these things. It's very useful for those and what I'm searching for when I'm doing this. So I was already searching for this, which by itself, without these extra stats that I've already put on here, was a mediocre item. But now, when I put those extra crafts on there, it's a GG item. It's like end game, completely fully optimized. And I use the Stygian Vises because you can put in one of these GG jewels in there also. So it's just better and better on one of these. And let's see here, one of these for example, which has max life, cold. This is what you're looking for. So can either do that. Some I know chaos spam them. I personally don't do that because I want the specific mod. You can use frigid, you can use the one for fire or lightning, all of them sold. I bought 1 of each, fire, lightning and cold. Had them up at all time, at least 2 of each, and continuously just refilled while people were buying. And normally I could not keep up with the demand, so I sold them for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, even I sold one for 25 exalted. So you can see the profits that can be made there. Obviously you want to stagger these. You want to start with something cheap in the beginning, then while you're making currency, the faster you can go up to the next step, the less people are gonna be there and swallow up your cut of the market, but it's gonna go on like that. So you want to find something. And finally, I also tried out some other things, which it was not really for my own build. It was for one of my test builds. And we're gonna put these in. I used these. There. Energy shield gear will always be very sought after, and it's very easy to hit these mods with, especially fossils. So what I would do is get the highest base of helmet, hybris or something it's called, and with a good enchant on it already. Is it here? Hybrid circlet. And I will go in here. Let's go into helmets, energy shield, and we want to search for which base we need here then. We need an 84 to hit the max one here. So then we go back and we do 84 at item level 84 minimum. Oops, 84. And then we want it non-unique, any non-unique. And we can also go corrupted and stuff like that. This is a little bit more expensive in the beginning. So as you can see here, this is the best base. You can check up the best bases on the wiki, which one is the best one. And you might even want to search for something. Let's say you want arc, as you will. Then you look for the enchants here at the bottom. And arc chains an additional time is very popular because it multiplies or something like that. I have never played arc. As you can see, those bases are much more expensive, but there's much more potential to get great profits. So I would buy one of these when I had a lot of currency, or just keep the normal ones. Then I would quality it up because it can go up to 30 in quality. So you just click it until it's 30 in quality. Let's see if here you can see it's 28, which was not possible before the fossils. So you would quality it up and then start crafting with these. So I just put in one of these dents in here and I would just click away, and I was only looking at the number that shows me the energy shield. If you hit something close to 400, then you're golden. If it has a resist or some other good stats like this, for example, you can see here 400, and he put on the 18% quality on top of this and anything like this, then you have a GG item and you can sell that for massive profits. So there's something else I can highly suggest to you. The reason why I'm not doing it for shields, because his shields are not as useful for most. The reason I'm not doing for chest armor, because many are using unique chest armor. I would recommend it either for head, feet, and I would also recommend it for gloves. If you want to do some of this crafting, I highly suggest those three parts. Actually, head and gloves, most of it. Otherwise, I made pretty good profits this league. I've not played excessive in the farming department here. I made some series about it and so on, but at the end, I mostly did my currency the old crafting method. I just did these over and over again. You don't need, if you find your market, if you find your thing, you can do it the whole league and do it while farming. Why not have two pies in the cooking at once? Then you have twice as much in the end. Please do not stay just at farming and then selling those. You need to combine these to make the maximum out of your time. And the good thing about crafting finally is that you can have the game running and have the things selling or people whispering you. So if you're making food, you can see over your computer someone has whispered you. You can run there, fast do the trade, go back to your cooking. Or if I'm taking care of my son, I can fast see on this on the screen that, oh, I have a trade. Oh, my son is watching TV. Good. I can go and do my trade. And it takes me 10 seconds. And he continues to do this. But if I'm farming, I need to sit here physically hour after hour and do the farming. So just some tips here. And I hope you can implement it in the next league. And if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments. Thank you for watching.